There we are. That's us live, and we're going to welcome Cliff Mann to the tasting bothy as he gets a swig of red wine down his throat. Clark and I are looking forward to this. We have our wee drams that have been given to us, and we've got 3 glasses sitting here. We're just going to pour them up when Cliff tells us we can open the top of the bottle, so we can let them breathe a wee bit. So we won't mix them up. No. I'm going to keep each of the glasses in front of the 3 bottles, so I know exactly where they are, and we'll leave it to you. But Cliff, thanks very much for joining us in the tasting bothy. We've been going to do this for a wee while. Clark and I are really excited about having a go at this, because this is what will just show you how much we didn't ken about malt whisky. So we're just going to pour these into our wee glasses, if that's okay.
Yeah, I would definitely do that, because I think the first thing I would say is that they are all cask strength. So you might want to let them breathe a little bit and find their space in the glass, you know.
Yes.
I'll do the same as I go. Yeah, so I was kind of, so thank you very much for having me. It's as you say, Bill, we've been talking about it for a while, and I've got plenty of options, and I thought I'll try and pick out 3 that are quite different, and they're all also different because I've basically, without saying which is which, I've got 2 independent bottles. They're all cask strength. There's 2 independent bottlings in here, and then there's 1 distillery hand-filled bottle. So I picked it up at the distillery. So they're not things that you would generally just pick up.
That'll not be easy to guess, Cliff, because I've watched the amount of distilleries you've visited in the last 12 months. So I'm not going to guess that you very easily.
No, definitely not. But anyway, it should be good fun. And on the wee envelope, that I left some space. I don't know if you guys take tasting notes and stuff. I've left a wee space on there. But on the envelope, there's a wee quiz.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be quite good fun. And what I was thinking, just as we go through it, you might want to put some ticks in the boxes just to see. That might be quite an interesting exercise. And as you can guess, there are more answers, so you can forget about this wee infinity bottle dram. I'll talk to you about that in a minute, but that's not on this sheet. But basically, what you need to know about these drams is on this on this sheet, and therefore it'll be quite interesting as you go through it to say, I think, you know, for example, I think number 1 is a 17-year-old Islay in a sherry cask, and
let's hope it is.
It may or may not be. So, because that might be quite interesting, and actually in the envelope, which we'll keep to the end, I'll flash it up. I've actually got the tasting notes from the bottle. So,
excellent! That's good, because that'll be handy, because that'll allow us to fill in our wee booklets that we've got. If that's the case.
Yeah. So I don't. I mean, you know what tasting notes are like. It's someone else's answer. It might not be your answer.
It can be very subjective, I suppose. The first thing I would say, Cliff, is the difference in the colours, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
They are. I mean, they're lovely. And particularly dram number 2, I love the colour of that. So I'm looking forward to that.
It's like, I mean, that's the thing is, I mean, the colour on that number 2 is insane.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. So there you go. So as I say, I picked out 3 drams. They are all cask strength. So you might decide you want to pop a bit of water as you go, or you might just want to let it sit in the glass for a wee bit. The last one that I put in the box is I keep an infinity bottle. I'm sure, I don't know if you do the same.
Yes.
But it's either the head or the tails of the dram, depending on what mood I'm in. Mm-hmm. And that was just a couple of wee drams that I poured out the bottle. It's interesting to say the least. It's pretty funky. It's got lots of peat in it because I'm a big peat head, really. So most of a lot of water, and as soon as you put peat into an infinity bottle, it becomes a peated dram. It's hard to hide.
Yeah.
You know, so there you have it. So I don't know. Do you want to just crack on? Will we just have a?
Yes. Yes. Let's go with number one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So get a wee look at it in the glass. What you think?
Isn't it?
It's very
light,
very painful.
like sort of straw, isn't it?
To be fair, Cliff, I'm looking at it and I've not got many legs in this, so that could tell me maybe a wee bit about the age of it, to be honest with you.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
I get a tide line, but I get very, very fine tears on it. It's not.
You can see the tears very, very fine. They're very, very fine, but I've got, like you're saying, it's a tide line on it. So
yeah. But it's there you go.
We'll have a sniff, right?
Oh,
yeah, go for it. Get your nose in there.
The nose is lovely.
So this is this. Go on.
I'm certainly not overpowering with anything particular. No. I'm not getting a huge nose of.
No, mine's is just this like fresh apples and green grass for me. It's really nice wee citrusy bit to it. It's lovely. I like the nose in that. Very fresh.
Yeah, I definitely get the grassy notes. I think.
Yeah.
Bit of vanilla as well. But it's it's very pleasant.
I've not tasted it yet, but the nose reminds me of a Kilcoman.
A Kilcoman, yeah, I see what you mean.
It's not because it's not really that peaty on the nose of Kilcoman, but it's got that spicy. There's a wee bit of peat there just behind, right at the very end of it.
There's a wee
bit of smokiness. So it does remind me of the Kilcoman.
Oh.
burnt all the hairs up your nose.
Didn't do that.
And the top of my head as well.
Well, that's lovely. I like that.
So we're going in. Do you want to?
Yes. Aye, your good health, Slange, gents.
Slange, yeah.
Cheers.
Oh, that's bro.
Nice.
That's really nice. Finish.
Slightly sort of, I don't know, kind of a bit of sort of spice on there, kind of like a gingerbread spice almost.
Yep.
And
it's very grassy. It's very meadowy, isn't it? It's lovely. It's like
I love that.
I walk through the country. It's lovely.
I love that.
You don't love it too much because I finished the bottle.
But once we know what it is, we might get another one.
You have to go and find another one. Now this, and again, without giving anything away, I say it's an independent bottling, and but it is a distillery, quite a large distillery, and they don't actually bottle any of their own drams. It all goes into blends, and you can get quite easily independent bottling. So there's plenty of independent bottlings out there, but you won't find their product on the shelf.
Oh, that's interesting.
And there's plenty of distilleries out there that still.
I was going to say that would suggest to me it might even be an Isle of Malt then, if that's the case, because there's a few of them out there that it's no giving anything away.
I was kind of pondering that with myself because it isn't awfully peaty or smoky or.
No, it's definitely no Kilcoman. It's definitely.
Think about it.
It's definitely no Kilcoman. It's got a westiness to it. Aye.
I was thinking that myself. Aye.
I would agree. Although that doesn't necessarily mean that that's where it's from.
Hey, he's just trying to throw us off the scent, Clark. He's trying to throw us off the scent here. Do you know, I'd have to say, I think this has got an American oak with a wee drop sherry cask in it there. It's just, or a bourbon cask, something like that. It's definitely not a European oak edition because it's not a virgin oak that's in that. So
it's definitely been in a cask.
An oak cask, may any chance?
For at least 3 years.
Well, it has to be at least 9 years because you've not got a 3-year-old down there on your sheet.
No, I know. I haven't got a 3-year-old. Yeah. So interestingly, I mean, again, it's a bit of fun, but I don't know if you've got any. What are you thinking in terms of your? See, I would tick it, but I've got the answer in front of me, so
I'm going to add a wee drop of water to it just to taste it, just to see how it changes it. Because I like that. It's really nice. It's nice as it is. I've probably wasted it now.
Well, that's my concern is that I ruin it.
Well, didn't Clark till I've tasted it, and I'll tell you.
I tell you what, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's no, I wouldn't do that. That would just waste it. But anyway, it's actually nicer without water in it, Clark. I'll let you do the next one. You can add water to the next. You can add water to the next one, and I'll hold off. It's nicer straight for the cask than it is where we drop water in it, and I've not added much water.
Well, in that case, I'll just leave it the way it is. Be happy with that.
All it does is makes it a wee bit more smokier than it was without the water in it. It's lost the pepperiness that it had at the start, adding the water to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it helpful? Nice. I could give you a few things from the bottle notes, which doesn't tell you where it's from. I won't give anything away, but
I'm going to go. I think it's quite young. I think that's a 9-year-old. I'm going to go with a 9-year-old.
I'm agreeing with you in that one, Willie.
And I'm going to go. I have to go. I'm going to go Islay. I don't think that's a Highland malt.
Right. Well, I'm sticking with you so far. That's 2-2.
You're saying cask strength. I'm going to leave the bourbon port sherry bit because I'm not sure. But you're saying it's cask strength, and I'm thinking, I haven't added the water to that. I haven't added the water to it now. If I hadn't added the water, I might have said it was at 50% something. I'm going to go the 45% on that. But I'm struggling with the port or the bourbon or the sherry or the rum. I think bourbon. I'm going to go bourbon.
I'm guessing bourbon as well.
Aye.
I'm guessing bourbon.
It's nice. That's a lovely dram. That I really enjoyed that. It's a pity you finished the bottle. But anyway.
Yeah.
Before he finished the bottle.
Yeah, definitely. And it's I'm off to Manchester at 6:00 tomorrow morning, so I'm going to be very careful what I'm doing tonight. So I'll give you a couple of things off the tasting notes here, which I won't give away.
Yep. Aye, please. I'm going to write this next to your number one when we write it down.
Yeah. And you'll get all this in your envelope anyway. But I think what the bottle says, the nose, lambic beer, Ribena, blackcurrant, and grass cuttings, which you guys called out. And then on the palate, cocoa beans, raspberries, whipped cream, which I'm not sure I get that, to be honest. I think I get much more. I get vanilla, I get gingerbread,
I agree with that. I get the vanilla.
I get the grassiness as well, I think.
Yep.
And the finish, dark chocolate and grassy flavors. So those were the bottle notes. And
Yep. Right.
I've driven past this distillery a few times, and you can't visit it, which is very frustrating.
Shame.
You can go right past the front door, but you're not allowed in.
Is that because it's independent, Cliff?
Well, no, it's owned. I think it's owned by one of the big guns, to be honest. But it's not.
All right.
It's just not open to the public. They don't.
Or like a
sell
Diageo or somebody, like a Diageo or someone like that.
Like that, yeah. I don't actually know who. I probably, yeah. I need to look that one up. But anyway.
Do you know who they put their drams into? Is it? You do. You want to tell us that at the end?
Because that might give it away.
Well, it might.
And it's and when you go by the distillery, there's a big sign with the name of the blend on it.
Yeah, I will. But I could probably hazard a guess at that then. So, but no, that's nice. I like that. That was a good one, mate. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
it's lovely. Yeah, I've enjoyed that.
I mean, so that particular dram as well. We'll recap a little bit because I'm not telling you what it is yet. But
yeah,
there is another bottling which is actually quite reasonably priced, still very easy to get a hold of. Which of the same distillery, which I actually prefer to that, and it's not a cask strength one, but it's beautiful. It's still got that slight funkiness, that slight grassiness, but it's also quite salty, and it's a really, really pleasant dram. But we can get back to that towards the end.
Right, we'll come back to that at the end. Let me set that up there out the road with that wee bottle.
Yeah.
Mystery Dram 1.
There you go.
Goodness, this is better than Blind Date.
Yeah.
I didn't know you'd been on Blind Date.
Is Stella going to join us later on?
That one quiet.
No, I wasn't. But my guide dog was.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Right. What do you want to do?
Dram number 2. Aye, let's go to dram number. I've had a wee chocolate biscuit there just to get rid of that off my palate. That was a great idea.
Now the colour on this
I
is.
love the colour. This is amazing.
You could polish your boots with it.
It's absolutely stunning. I love that redness there. There's a wee fishery that I go and fish just at Slaman and up behind us here.
Yeah.
Which is in amongst the mosses. And the water, because it's got the peat bogs in about it, is that colour.
Yeah.
And the trout on it, it's actually owned by Stirling University. They have it they've got it for like a fish farm or whatever else. And it's up where, I don't know if you know, where at Roughmute, where they've got the shooting school up there.
That's what I hear it.
Well, at the back of that, there's a lovely loch. And I've been up a few times and fished it in the summer, and it's lovely. But it's that colour, it's that peaty colour. It's beautiful. Love that. I'm going to suggest that this might have sherry in it or port.
I don't
Anyway, dram number 2. I'm going to have a wee nose at if that's okay, gents. Right.
Slange.
Well, then, let's do it.
Oh boy. That smells like the first nose I get of that linseed. It's like.
Aye.
It's got that linseed kind of wax, the kind of table waxy stuff that you get. Beeswax and linseed furniture polish. Oh, that's stunning. That must be one of the best noses I have ever had. That is just.
See, I get loads of like Tizer, Red Cola, that sort of stuff going on in there.
Tizer.
You're
showing your age, man.
Actually, it's Tizer.
Showing your age.
Bottling of Tizer.
I was going to say that West Coast side of you's coming out there, Cliff. It's got that Alpine Red Cola in it.
Alpine, oh my gosh. I remember when I was a boy, there was the Alpine truck came down the front of our street, and we were on a hill, and there's a little mini roundabout at the bottom, just at the bottom of our street, and I don't know what he did, but the whole lot just went off the side. And we were all out with brushes sweeping up all this broken glass. What a tragedy it was.
Do you know what I get for this as well, though, is the floral notes. It's very floral. I love that nose.
And there's a couple of interesting tasting notes that which we'll come back to, which are definitely coming through in what you're saying.
Wow.
Oh, lilac. Aye. It's like a springtime garden. Lilac.
It's absolutely stunning. I'm getting jasmine in there as well, Clark, with that.
It's that kind of light, very light floral.
Very, very. It's so floral. That's honestly, I've nosed a few, but this is absolutely fantastic.
There's a bit of this for me. There's a bit of the sort of the boozy brandy butter that you get at Christmas as well.
Completely, yes. I get that. Yeah.
I'd quite happily make brandy butter with that in it.
I would think so. Are you giving some away there? You didn't have brandy letting down there on your thing, so.
No, there's no brandy. So the bad news as well is that this is the end of a bottle, but the good news is I've got another one.
I tell you, I wish
the tears in the legs coming, isn't it? Well, we need to taste it first, Clark. Nose as well. It'd be lovely to smell.
I'm enjoying the smell. I think it's wonderful.
I know. Slange, enjoy.
Slange. Oh man.
Cheers.
I think that's magnificent.
Oh, it's Balloway's. It's Balloway's on steroids. Cliff, I'll need to bring a bottle. I'm off to France to my brother's. I need to bring a bottle of Monsieur Balloway's back and let you taste it. It's a brandy. It's a brandy cognac, but honestly, it's a cognac. That is the woodiness of this is unbelievable. It's been in the barrel. That is magic.
Yeah,
absolutely magic. The woodiness on that is superb.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I would say that's been in a port barrel. That's port and woody in that.
It's something very heady. That's right. It's port or it's been a sherry
port
for a while.
Or sherry or something. Aye, one of these. I'm going to go with port rather than sherry, or it could be a sherry. It's really, but then again, port and sherry are very similar.
Again, this is another distillery that doesn't produce its own bottlings.
Right.
It all goes into blends, apart from the odd private bottling. And I just think they're missing a trick.
Oh, they definitely are. So I would buy that. I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. Aye.
There is no way I'm adding any water to this whatsoever. it's just no happening because for it being again cast strength.
You're not talking me into either.
One thing we didn't do was the look. I mean, I think that this has got quite big legs on it. This one, it's quite syrupy.
I noticed that. I did notice that.
And it's got tons of legs in there, and I completely agree with you as well on the influence of the time in the cask. It's very woody, a lot of woody notes.
But that finish sitting on my tongue, it's so sweet and creamy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a wee bit like a Bertola cream sherry, to be honest with you, but better because it's got that age in the barrel from it.
Yeah.
It's just magic. So I love that.
Yeah, it's goody.
Cliff,
I'm trying to think of that.
Can you come back? Can you come back next week with another 3?
There's plenty to go at.
Oh man,
that is wonderful.
So there's a and I don't want to give too much away, but this distillery actually has childhood memories for me. So there's a wee thing that I might drop into the mix. That doesn't necessarily mean that I lived beside it, but it does have childhood memories.
I've got a mood. It's like a mood full of bubble gum at the moment. Candy floss and bubble gum and wood and.
The finish goes on forever, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, there's just so much going on in my mouth. Oh, it's missing popping candy.
It's just sitting coating your tongue, isn't it? I'm trying to figure out what that taste. There's a taste in my tongue, and I'm thinking I know what that is, but it's no.
It's like a mouthful of Roundtree's wine gums. There's that much going in it. It's like that black currant wine gums that you used to get. It's no wine gums. What do you call them? The fruit things. You know, the black currant gums rather than the wine gums. The black currant gums that you used to get. The kind of hard. No, the like Roundtree's fruit gums. Aye.
Yeah.
It's got all that black currant, red berry type stuff sitting on my tongue.
Yeah. So there's something in the finish on the bottle notes which I think is really interesting, because for me it's one of those things that once you hear it, you get it. And they talk about custard creams in the finish.
Yes, the vanilla's there, custard creams, definitely.
Creamy, that's right, it's creamy, aye.
Oh man, I'm not going to finish that, and I'm coming back to that.
I'm
going to leave some of that. I'm going to leave some of that to come back to it, because that would.
You'll be like
this is the danger of being the drama of the year if we're not careful here, like, you know.
You'll be like Gollum in Lord of the Rings with this one. You'll be my precious.
That's my precious.
You know what?
That is stunning. That's a beautiful hat.
I'm definitely. That's a 10 out of 10, man. Honestly.
Absolutely.
So tasting notes on this from the bottle: the nose, Demerara rum, cherry cola, raisin butter, crispy bacon, and hot sauce on the nose. Maybe the hot sauce, actually, a bit of sriracha.
Well, do you know what I could go with that? Is pancakes and maple syrup.
Maybe
with the bacon on the top.
And the palate.
It's got that maple syrupy stuff there.
So on the palate, treacle toffee, pine needles, lemongrass, honeycomb, dry spices, poppy seeds, and sherry. So you guys were talking about a lot of those herbal notes, and I think, and the forest flowers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And the finish, drying sherry notes, custard cream, Christmas cake, and pouring cream. So that's what it says on the bottle, at least.
No, and I would say yes, completely agree. I
just find it, for me, it's like I just think it's like a red cola on the nose. That's what I get. It's
the only thing that's come close to this for me that we've had was when we had that outlaw rum, Clark, which was finished. Which was finished in a Lafroig cask, and it was an outlaw rum, which would make me think, why have I ticked the port and no the rum cask for that? But that's a great dram. Oh boy, Cliff, you've outdone yourself with that. I hope the last tunes is good. I hope the last tunes is good, because I wish it had been the other way around about now. Anyway.
Well, I thought about. I did think, because I really like this. Right, this is one of my favourites. Right, I mean, I really like.
I can understand why.
But I kind of thought with the third one, I put them in that order for a reason, just because of some of the notes that you'll get on the last one. I didn't want it to kind of, but it might be to your taste, right? The third one, you might go, you know what, I like that better. So
cast strength again. I'll have a wee bit of the biscuit just to clear my palate.
I've still got this plate of cheese here. I'm sort of trying to. Very nice. I popped into Melissa's on Friday. Got a wee selection. It's the business.
So I take it that's your bar behind you, just while we're shooting the breeze.
Well, this is all drams. These are all mostly Ardbegs in that middle bit. And then I've just got a selection up there, so quite a few open, you know. It's hard. It's quite hard yard though, because I'm the only one in the house that will take a dram, right? So they last a long time. So I'm always happy to share, you know, because that's what it's about, isn't it?
Well, we're the same, you know. So
Anyway,
Joe, this is us. How many years is this, Cliff? This is into our third year actually. We're into our third year. We started this in lockdown, Cliff.
The start of lockdown, aye. When you couldn't visit anybody, you could go
Mm.
anywhere.
And so we decided that on a Sunday night we would have a dram together, and then we decided to record it.
Yeah.
Stick it onto a YouTube channel and have a bit of fun, because we really just enjoyed having a dram, and we couldn't do that. And we normally met up once a week and had a dram. So doing it on a Sunday was superb. So this has been great. And now being able to invite folk like yourself in, and there's a few other folk that have said, you know, we'd like to come along and do this as well. So it's been brilliant. This has been great for us.
No, it's great. It's good fun. And I think over lockdown as well, there was, I mean, I took part in a few different tastings, you know, run by, you know, like I did one with, like, I think Inverurie Whisky Shop. I did a couple just online offers that came up. And there's some guys that I'm in touch with on Twitter. I've joined a couple of theirs as well.
Yeah.
And they've always been great fun. And I think you know, being able to do it at your house and set aside an hour or two just to chew the fat with people and, you know, and enjoy some drams, it certainly beats just sitting on the couch yourself doing it, you know. I mean, it's good fun. Yeah, it's good.
The problem with sitting on the couch doing it is you sometimes don't know when to stop. Whereas if you're on here and you have a dram together and then you switch off after that, it's great. One, it's great for mental health. Guys just love to sit and shoot the breeze and have a dram, and sometimes just talk about nonsense. So although Clark and I do this live on StreamYard on a weekly basis, once we're finished our tasting, we switch it off and maybe take 5-10 minutes and just chat after that, our two selves. So, but it's good.
Anyway. No, it's excellent. So have you dram 2? Have you ticked your sheet?
I have. Yes, I have. Yes,
I think this is
one.
This is a bit older, I would have thought. How old, I don't know.
Yes, and I'm ticking that there, right? Okay, I've went with that one. Right. The only one I hadn't picked was a region that I thought it was from. So I'm going to get you to talk a wee bit once we finish this dram, Cliff, about this whiskey tasting thing that you've done, because obviously you went and studied and you're now so tell us a wee bit about that.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, I can do that just now, and I mean, look, then we'll go on to number 3 if you want.
Go on then.
So I did this. So actually, just around about Christmas time last year, I got made redundant, and I was pretty lucky really, because I think I'd come to the end of my time anyway with the company, and the opportunity came up, and I got a job pretty much straight away, right, but I had a bit of time to kill really between the jobs, and I had a wee bit of money in my pocket, which was great too. And I saw this thing. It was the Inverurie Whisky Shop. They were running. Have you ever been up there? Have you ever been in their shop?
No.
They've got a fantastic little shop in the town, and upstairs they've got like a bar and a tasting room where they do various functions and stuff like that. And they started running this Whisky Ambassador course, which is essentially a one-day course where you go and you go through a whole lot of content around the whiskey making process. You know, the kind of stuff that you would get on a tour, right? You know, you get all that same, I guess, all that same spiel, but it's much more. It is a bit more academic. You know, you get, you don't get all the happy cows and the tourist stuff that they tell you about at the distillery, right? Everyone's got happy cows and so on, and and the fish in the river where they dump all the stuff for that size and all that. So they went through and they went through all of that process, but they also talked about the whiskey market and how that sits across the world, and they talk about they do a bit about responsible drinking responsibly, and there's a bit. Yep. I think the course itself is largely targeted towards people in the trade, to be honest. People who are maybe running a whiskey bar in a restaurant, who want to want to have a bit more know-how, or maybe people who are going to go on to become tour guides, or people that are just starting to get into the industry. And there was probably about 10 people on the course, and maybe 2 of us were just there because we were interested. And then what we also did was we did a little tasting as well, where we went round. We tried about six different drams, all from different regions and with different cask influences and stuff like that. And there was an exam at the end of it. So, and the tasting was part of the exam. So you had to, get your notes down. What region was it from? What barrel did we think it was in? And all that sort of stuff. And then there was a kind of multiple choice exam on the content at the end. And at the end, you get a little pin to say that you're a whiskey ambassador, and it is a recognised qualification in the industry. But it is only a day, right? It's really a taster, and they do the Whiskey Ambassador organisation do a whole lot of different things. They do like full week things, and I mean, you can imagine, right, working and having a family and stuff, right? I'm not going on that course anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
But I'd really like to do it, and I think it's one of those things. I don't know. I mean, it's funny. I'm at a point in my career, right? As I say, I worked for the bank for a long time. Got laid off. I'm now working for a company that does something completely different. And I'm probably at a point in my life where I don't know where that'll all take me, right? And I'm not really worried about it either. And I think maybe I would like to get into something that's a bit more in this line, because I'm interested in it. I think it's a fascinating subject, and I never go on a tour and get bored, right? I'm the guy who knows all the answers to the questions, though, and I have to keep my mouth shut. That's the only thing.
But the thing is, you're passionate. I like Clark and I. You're passionate about whiskey. We enjoy a dram. It's no that we're drinking malt whiskey 24/7, but when we do go for a dram, you're not drinking to get drunk. You're drinking to enjoy what you're actually tasting.
Yeah,
I think that's the whole part of it. We talk about drinking responsibly, and we always say at the end of ours, times like this, for people to drink responsibly. But I think that's the whole key, is that if you're passionate about something like this, it's really great. I suppose it's like footballers or rugby players that play the sport, and they do it because they love playing football. And it's part of their career. You've heard that said many a times. It's fantastic. Apart from Clark doesn't like sport at all. He doesn't get into that kind of side of it.
I think, I've been at quite a few of the whiskey festivals as well. I mean, I was at Hampden Park tail end of last year for the whiskey show there. And it was just phenomenal, but it's interesting, like you say, right? Because when I go, right, I mean, obviously, like you would be as well, right? I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. I go in, I'm like, oh my gosh, right, I've got all this. But what I really love doing is going around and talking to people and speaking to people about it, and asking, and actually, what that does, unfortunately, is it slows you down a little bit, right? And you see people crashing from one stand to the next, and within about 2 hours, these guys are sideways, right? And you sort of think, right, and don't get me wrong, you're in there for like 3.5 hours, you're trying quite a lot of drams, and you do come out, probably on the wrong side of where you should be, right? But at the end of the day, I think for me, what I really enjoy about it is just that engagement with people, and the chatter, and the understanding where do you from, and where are you taking your product? I was and getting to speak to people who are pretty well up in their industry, and who are, so I spoke to one of the guys. I've spoken to Billy Walker a few times, who's the guy at Van Alke, and it's just fascinating to hear what these guys have got to say. And I had a wee connection with Billy Walker, actually, because my wife's grandfather used to work with him in Airdrie at the what's it called? What's the name of it? Inverhouse. In Airdrie, as well, as many years ago, and we were able to it was just funny how you can connect over something like that and just have a wee chat. So it was nice, it was good. It was good. But I would definitely recommend that. I say I went up to Inverurie and did it. But other people do it, right? You don't have to go all the way up there to do it. But if you're ever in Inverurie, go and see his shop. It's a great wee shop. We'll
pop in. I know that we'll be up that way at some point. Anyway.
So there you go.
Shall we look at the third one then?
Yeah, why not?
We should.
Number 3. So what's that looking like? What are you thinking?
It's pale as well. No, it's pale as
Wasn't it pale as the first one?
But it is pale.
No, it's definitely not.
And
It's a nice colour.
It's like an olive oil.
It is like an olive oil. It's actually quite viscous as well, like an olive oil. Not quite as thick as that, but also again, when I look at it's got a tide mark round the glass, and it's not. I would say this. I think this is fairly young as well. I might be completely wrong with that, but I think it's can it be as young as the first one? Might be as young as the first one. I'm going to put it as young as the first one.
And this one is from quite a famous distillery, but it's one that I picked up at the distillery, and it was a handfill bottle, you know.
Yeah. Yep. Let me get a wee nose into this then. Oh, interesting.
Quite different.
Very different.
Oh, that's quite peppery on my nose. I think I know what that is, actually. That's only because I've got a bottle up there, I think. That's nice and sweet as well, though. It's got a really sweet nose to it.
Yeah. I get a lot of like exotic fruits in there, like, you know, pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get quite a wee bit of like that mead smell, the kind of mead honey notes to it as well.
Yeah. Honey. Honey.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
I was thinking banana. I was thinking there's a wee touch of banana.
Yeah, I think so. I think tropical fruits. Can't
argue with that. But there's also something lying right at the very back of that, right in it. At the end of me, it gives me like pear drops or something.
Aye, that's it.
I get that pear droppy.
Yeah.
Gooseberry. I get pear drops and gooseberries for that. That's really quite amazing that you're getting tropical fruits. My nose has gone the opposite direction.
I get a wee bit of that. Yeah. I get a wee bit of that. You know, you mind the old Highland toffee bars?
Yes.
You know, you're saying about that back note. There's something caramelly toffee in there, I think, in the back.
Aye.
Aye, there is. Aye.
Right, I'm going in.
It's nice. Like that. Cheers, guys.
Oh, that's lovely. That's got a lovely warmth to it. That's just
really warm, isn't it?
Aye,
it's got a peppery thing. I think that's what caught you, Clark.
That is very comforting. I could sit in front of a log fire with that all night.
Yeah.
With a cream carrot. That's like a little bit of Cadbury's caramel or something like that. That's what leaves you on your tongue. Excuse me. Okay. That's what I was thinking about. It's like Cadbury's caramel. So.
Aye.
Very, very sweet.
I think the finish as well is quite interesting because I think it sort of dries quite quickly, but then you get this sort of slow, sweet burn at the end as well, which sort of disappears at the top, and then it
I've lifted a bottle off the top shelf, which I'm about to pour into this empty glass just to see if that tastes the same. Well, I'm going to.
I'll be amazed if it's the same, but it'll make it similar.
No, the one I've got's a wee bit darker.
It is, yeah, you can see that.
No, it's not that. It isn't that. But I'm glad I poured it. I'm glad I poured it. I'm glad I poured it though, because I can finish it later.
I was going to say, don't put it down the sink.
No. Oh no, I didn't. That's never happened. I can't. Oh, I'm saying that's never happened. I think there was one, Clark. I can't remember what it was, but I did put it down the sink. Remember that? There was one that I tasted and it was like, oh no, I can't drink that. And that's not including the beer. That beer that we had, which was minging. Some tramp or whatever it was called.
Or was that a festival? A whiskey tasting?
No. It was the one that we bought when we were in St Andrews caravanning, and we got 4 wee bottles, and this one was called something tramp, or she was whatever she was, but she was awful. She tasted. she was minging. She hadn't washed for weeks. It was just, I don't know what she had. It was like sweaty socks or whatever she had put in that bottle. It was, dearie me, it was a wild drink. I've just never tasted anything like that. And it was like, no, we're not drinking that. We'll just pour that,
Get rid of it.
It was awful. But there was no, I think the one that I didn't like, to be fair, was the Dalmore. We had a Dalmore. We were at the Whisky Festival, Cliff, at Lambert.
That's right. You didn't like Dalmore. That's right.
And we had a Dalmore. I can't remember if it was a cigar one or something else, but oh boy, I couldn't drink it. I took it and I was like, oh no, can't drink that one.
I find it quite, and you do get it with some sherried whiskies, but I do find with the Dalmores that I've had, the sherry's it's really cloying. It's like, it's quite, you feel like it sort of draws your cheeks in, and I think they overdo it. I don't know what it is. Whereas if you look at something like Glenallachie, who use a lot of sherry, they do it really, really well. And I think I don't know why that's so different. And Dalmore's, it's put out there as a big brand, as an expensive brand, and I just don't think you get what you pay for.
No.
Yeah. They're not going to sue us, are they?
I know, we're not just sharing their opinion.
Exactly.
There's a few other people that probably share their opinions of us.
They've got some really beautiful bottles,
Yeah.
With the stag on it. It's a cracking bottle.
Yeah, it's a lovely bottle. A nice shaped bottle as well.
Mm. So what do you think? What do you think of that one? Do you have a?
I do.
Do you have a rank ordering?
Do I rank? Oh, if I was going to rank them,
we can do that. We can do that.
That's quite easy. I think that's the second one's number one by a mile.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And then I would probably go with, I prefer this one to number one, to be honest with you.
So do I. So do I as well.
So I would be going rank order 3, 1, 2 for me, from first, second to third. 3, 1, 2.
3, 2, 1. I agree with you. 3, 2, 1.
It's like Dusty Bin. Can you?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was trying to remember the name of the guy that presented the show. Aye, that's exactly what.
So what have you got in your wee scorecard for that one then?
I love the pepperiness. I love the pepperiness on that.
It really is nice.
I've given that, for me, I like that. I've given that an 8.5 out of 10. The second one, I've given it. I'm saying 9.5 because I never give anything 10s out of 10. So, and the first one I've given.
There is one other thing about the second one which I haven't said. I wanted you to have them all first, but there is one thing about the second one that is different, fundamentally different to the other two.
I've got some left.
Yeah. Which is and I'll tell you now, the second, so the middle one, the second one it's a single grain whiskey. It's not a single malt whiskey.
Now see,
really?
This Clark and I have been the last couple of drams that Clark and I have had. We've had single grains recently, and our single grains have always scored higher than our single malts.
There you go.
And we've scored the grains very high. That's right, aye.
So I've now come to the conclusion that a single grain is a fabulous dram.
It is.
And that's the thing. Like I'm saying that second distillery basically they produce the base for blends, which is typically a grain whiskey.
Aye.
You know,
Which is what Johnny Walker does. So Johnny Walker's, I've got. I mean, we've got a couple of. I've got the signatory here that they use in their black label.
Yeah,
that was lovely. And that other grain we had the other week, Clark, that Loch Lomond single grain was absolutely stunning.
You do them. You do them either
yes.
And unheated.
Yes. Yep.
Is it Cameron Bridge that Johnny Walker used? Is it Cameron Bridge? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Single grains. Wait a minute. Here, I've got it here on my shelf. Excuse me for leaving the camera.
Yeah, go for it.
Port Dundas.
Port Dundas.
That was it.
Well, that's the that's gone now. That's
I know.
That was the one right. up near Mary Hill up that way, isn't it?
Yep, that's the one. Yeah, it's up that way. It's up on the canal. Yep. But Port Dundas is what they use single grain in there. The Johnny Walker.
They're telling us that when we experienced it, we were drinking kind of the last of it.
Yeah,
and it was just.
I got a Clark a bottle for his 60th birthday last year.
Oh, very good.
Which was a great idea, by the way. Great idea.
And I'm going to see if I can get another bottle just to stick on my shelf in the house because I think it's worthwhile getting and keeping.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was bro. I've enjoyed that. I've still got this in here to finish though because I've enjoyed.
So
I can't get over that. Aye, the one that you kept some as well. I know. I'm going to leave it.
So would you like to do the grand reveal?
Come on then.
So you've got your envelopes, and so in the envelope, you've got 3 wee cards, right?
I'll show everybody online what we've got. Right, so we've got a lovely.
It's just like my birthday.
I know.
So we've got a lovely wee card. Right, cheers to you. It says
out the happy birthday in the middle.
Aye, Cliff synced it out, but it says that in the middle. That's excellent. And in here we have. I've written that down. Wait a minute.
So dram number 1 is an Inchgower, and Inchgower is up near Buckie on the north coast. It's a Highland distillery, 56.2%, and it was a 9-year-old. So you got that, Bill? That was spot on. And it's done in a bourbon hogshead, and it's a Cadenhead bottling, 56%.
Right. So,
oh my!
And that's
I wasn't. So you said that it's a 9-year-old. I'm going to circle them.
Yeah,
so we got that right.
It's on the. I've put it all on the back. You've got it on the back.
No, I'm just going to circle it while it's here.
Aye.
And it's a Highland, which surprised me it being a Highland because I thought it was an Islay malt. But anyway, that's nice Highland. And you said it was 50. What did you say?
56.2.
See, I was surprised. I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised at that. It was as much as that, and adding water to it didn't. You know, it actually made it worse. And you'd have thought anything over 50%, you would have needed to add water to it. So, hence the reason why I thought it was 45.
Yeah. So there you have it. So that was number 1. An Inchgower.
Number 1.
Inchgower distillery. As I say, it's up in Buckie. It's on that main road that goes between Cullen and Portsoy. If you go past there to Buckie, it's right on the main road, and you can't go and visit it. But you've got the roof with Inchgower on it, and you've got the big sign on it, which is Bell's Whiskey. So they make a lot of whiskey for Bell's. Yeah.
Wow.
You wouldn't believe it, would you?
No.
No.
But if you said to me, they use it in what's that one, Clark, that I was getting recently? Black Bottle. Then I would have said aye. But no Bells. I didn't drink very much Bells. I've got Bells in the cupboard, but I use that for making whiskey sauce. But anyway.
That's right, or a wee hot toddy or something.
Aye.
But I think I was saying earlier on as well that one of the best Inchgours I've ever had, and is really quite easy to get still. There was a range of drams called Flora and Fauna, and Rosebank is actually there was a Rosebank as part of that series, but you can still get the Inchgour quite readily in a lot of the online retailers.
Right.
And it's got a little oyster catcher on the front. I think it's like a 10-year-old or 13-year-old, and it's an absolutely fantastic dram, really easy drinking.
We might look out for that then.
Yeah,
Clark's got a few, and you've got a few Flora and Fauna in your cupboard there, Clark.
I've not got any. I've none.
No, well, Clark's the same. His Rosebanks are not open either.
I've got one Rosebank. I have got one Rosebank, but I've not.
Clark's got a couple there, and I keep saying to him, "No, you didn't open it. Clark's not open that. You didn't let him open that."
No, I'm not opening them. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm not opening them just now. Or ever. I don't know what I'm going to do with them.
If we get to 100, Clark, I think we might open them at 100.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's one of those things that.
Okay, right. That's a deal. That's a deal.
If we get to 100, I think you need to open it. You need to it'll go off. It'll
definitely go off.
Very good.
It's when your carer takes it off you and says, "You're too old for that, son. I'm just going to put it down the sink."
I'm hoping that he's forgotten that he's got it there by that time.
I will. That's right. Yeah.
And you still remember.
I'm still able to remember.
That's
remember when you said you'd leave? You remember when you said you'd leave that to me, Clark?
I didn't remember that. No.
So number two is a single grain 30-year-old. It's from Strathclyde Distillery,
right?
And it's a 30-year-old. It was finished in sherry and bourbon casks, but it's predominantly a sherry dram. So it's a lowland dram because it's the big distillery in the Gorbals in Glasgow.
Yeah.
54.5. And that's why I said that I've got a lot of childhood memories, because my granny used to live round the corner from it in Gorbals. And me and my brother used to stay there most weekends. And whenever I go down to Glasgow Green or down that part of the town and get the smell from the distillery, I'm transported. I'm 10 years old again.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I can honestly say I got nothing right about that at all. Not a thing.
Well, the only thing I got right was it was 54.5.
Yeah, 54.5. But Bill, I mean,
the only thing I was right about was the fact that it was very good.
And the age. You also said that it had spent a long time in the cask, so I thought you were
a long time in the cask. Aye.
But
I went with the 17 rather than the 30.
That one, it's got tons of.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep. I'm still not finishing that yet. I'm going to have your Solero thing, your affinity, before I drink this. I'm finishing the night on that because that's a stunning dram.
Yeah, no,
I feel completely blessed to have had that.
Yeah, that was good. No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And then the last one, number 3, is a Bunnahabhain. Bunnahabhain wine. Warehouse number 9, hand-filled, 2005. It's a 17-year-old, and it was finished in a rum cask. And of course, Bunnahabhain, it's an Islay malt, and it's 54.9%.
There's what I picked up to taste.
Yeah,
because I thought that taste.
Oh, it's a Bunnahabhain. No far off. Well done.
I said it's no far off. That's what I picked up to taste.
Yeah.
And that's what's in that glass there. And I thought, that's what I've got, but it's no. Bunnahabhain's one of my favourites, I must admit. I love a Bunnahabhain. I didn't get it as being a 70. I picked it as a 12-year-old, which because I thought that's what I was drinking. That's that again. It's a lovely dram, super dram.
Very, very nice.
So there you go. So those were the drams that I picked out for you boys, and. Sounds like you enjoyed them.
It's been a great, honestly, it's been an absolutely fantastic night. So we now need to get to your Infinity Dram.
Want to try a wee bit of the Infinity one? I've got no idea what to expect actually here, so we can have a bit of sport with it.
What do you mean try a wee bit? I want to try it all.
I'm just getting a wee slug of water, I think.
I'll make sure I send the glasses back so you can refill them, Cliff.
Give me the bottles back, because I'll always use them again.
But when we send them back, Clark and I will put 3 drams in for you.
Oh, that's very kind.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, quite good. Aye, good.
And so we'll do this again, but Clark and I will then give you the opportunity to have a wee blind tasting with us.
That sounds good to me. I'd be up for that.
Brilliant. Right, we're trying this Infinity.
I mean, this nose is all over the place on this one, right? There's been no master blender involved in this whatsoever.
No, but it's hypnosis, all right. It's not like it's offensive.
That's right. That is not unpleasant at all.
I'm getting the appley notes out of there.
I find this. It's really woody. Actually, I find that it's like licking a coffee table.
I've not done that for a long while, Cliff.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
I'll give you something to do afterwards.
I remember one year up at my house you were doing that.
Aye, I know. Aye, but that was about 2000. I think, Clark. I like the peatiness in that, Cliff. That's got a lovely peatiness to it.
Yeah,
I know that you said once you've added peat, it's open, but it's not a smoke head. It's not a strong peatiness to it. It's lovely.
Nice.
It's got a.
It's all right, isn't it?
That's bro.
It is. Aye. I like that.
I wonder if the chap down at the Sparrow took a few bottles off my hands. try and flog it.
What I need to do is put you in touch with the guy at Chivas Regal, who follows us on our page, the Whisky Blender dude.
Yeah, I'll teach him a few lessons.
he does all the whiskey blending for Chivas Regal,
right?
So he might taste that and go, "Well, that's no bad." That's no bad. Then again, he might know. That's lovely, Cliff.
He'll get his team on it to try and recreate it. I think it's all right. It's not bad.
So what's in it? Tell me what you put in, Cliff. What's in? Can you mind?
Honestly, I've been messing about with that for about.
I've been drunk for the. I have been drunk for the last 6 weeks, and I've just been topping it up as we go along.
It's just honestly, it's got everything in it.
It's nice.
I've got a bottle that's been sitting. That's the same. It's got a wee bit of this, and a wee bit of that, and a wee bit of other things. It's been sitting on my shelf up there for. I bet it's been 3, 4, 5 years since I last had a sniff of it.
Yeah.
So I'll put some of that in your wee bottle and send it over to you. You can tell me how bad it is.
I've got it in this skull decanter. I just thought, seeing it, it's the connotations of poison and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what it's in a skull decanter. Well,
yep.
I told
to be fair,
I go left and go right.
No, to be fair, it's not a bad dram. It's got lovely. The peatiness is nice in it. It's quite sweet as well.
It's not overpowering by any manner of means. It's nice. It's just very pleasant. Very pleasant.
I mean, Clark and I over the months, Clark and I have tasted a few drams, and we've said to folk who have been watching us on our YouTube channel and stuff, that if you're introducing somebody to a malt whiskey or to a peated whiskey, and we've said the kind of ranges of where they sit, I would say that this, if somebody was wanting to taste a blended peated whiskey, that's as good as any, mate, to be honest with you. You've come up. I wish you'd written down what was in it. I
know. Oh well.
Because you can't make it again. if you're putting a dram, if you're putting a nip for the start of a bottle into this, then you've come up with a great blend. To be honest with you,
never to be repeated, I guess.
Like
try it again in 6 weeks, and it'll be dreadful.
Are they all a particular age? Are they all 10-year-olds or 12-year-olds, or does it no matter to you?
It's just when I get to the. Generally, what I do is when I get to the last, when I've not got enough for a dram, I just pop the bottom of the bottle in it, you know, and it's got everything in there. It's got everything. It's all Scotch whiskey. I haven't put any bourbon in it or anything else. It's all different, but it's got all regions, all ages, all strengths, but it's all Scotch whiskey. So just let nature take its course, you know. See what happens.
I need to be more disciplined than that, because when I get to the bottom of it, and I pour it into a glass and I've not got a full dram, I just drink it and then open another bottle and fill the glass up to make up for what I lost out the last gin.
Yeah. No, but I think the thing though is if you're one of those people that when you've got a wee bit left, you just finish it. Then if you want to do an infinity bottle, then actually the way to do it is whenever you open a new one, you know, pour yourself the neck pour, because that's the most important one in the bottle. But then just pop a wee drop in your butt and then it's done.
I see. I give that one to Clark.
And then you can record it as you put in.
So I always give him the first one out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Right, because I know that's the most important one. And then when so he knows he's got the first one, and then because I've got the bottle left to myself. It tends to go to the caravan. After that. And then we're away for a weekend at the caravan, the two of us. Yeah. And I dread the day that Clark decides to post the video that he did a few weeks back. And me trying to pour a dram.
Try to pour 3 drams. That was hilarious, by the way. Try to pour 3 drams.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult when it's windy and the caravan's rocking about the place to try and get it.
The caravan wasn't rocking about the place. What are you talking about?
The caravan was it was so clear. The caravan was rocking back and forth. I couldn't even, honestly. And then you started to make me laugh. And when you start to laugh, your hand starts to shake a wee bit when you're laughing. I thought it was very unfair. I thought it was very unfair of you and James to take advantage of me, to video it and then make me laugh, and I couldn't. Although by the time we had finished, we had drams about this size, because trying to get 3 glasses level was really difficult.
They keep topping up a wee bit more and top up a wee bit more.
The thing that made me laugh more than anything else was your wife on the video going, "You've got to drive the car in the morning." It's late. We need to be going back to their beds. As I was pouring these. So, and I was okay because I wasn't driving in the morning. My wife was towing the caravan. So
He's got this
it made no difference to me, right?
Quite right.
No, good. Anyway,
good stuff.
So Cliff, we have to thank you for this evening. It's been a great night. We've thoroughly enjoyed it. Clark and I will have a wee discussion as to what we're going to send over to you. We'll need to make up these wee cards for you. And put it. I'll send it back. I'll send it back in your wee box that you gave to me with an envelope. And we shall do this again in a few months' time.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Once the two of us have discovered or discussed what we're going to send
Putting in it.
Right. That's good. No, it's been good chatting with you guys, and I've enjoyed sharing the drams, and I'm pleased you like them. I've got it was quite easy actually to pick these because I knew they were, you know, you'd like them. I knew they'd be well received. So it's been a real pleasure to be here, and I've enjoyed it. It's great, and I look forward to the next one.
Super.
Right.
Then we'll do that soon, and we'll catch you soon, buddy.
Nice to meet you.
All right. See you later on, buddy. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's him gone, Clark. It's been a great night. I've thoroughly enjoyed that.
Right.
Are you in as well? No, put us off just in a wee second. I mean, that's been a great night. I know we've been on a lot longer than we normally are. We've been on for about an hour and 10 minutes. I tell you something, that dram is really, it's a pity that it's no easy to go out and buy, because I would be online tomorrow to try and get that. That 30-year-old Strathclyde is just
superb.
a superb dram.
It is. That's
So
that could easily be the dram of the year for.
oh, aye, but
Could
unfortunately, nobody can buy it. Unfortunately.
That's a wee bit unfortunate, right enough, eh?
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to say our goodbyes tonight.
Right.
Stick the wee bit on the bottom. Oh, we've got the hiccups. To say, if people want to find us, they can get us in the Tasting Bothy on Instagram.
Right.
If you want to find Cliff, he's the Whisky Chaser. He's on Instagram as well, so you'll get him there. And we'll say goodbye for this evening, and we will catch up with you maybe next Sunday.
You never know.
Your good health, everybody. Remember and drink responsibly, and we'll catch up soon.
Catch up with you later.
Good night, folks.